Welcome back to the dopest show you won't get sick of. I'm Spencer, and this is Sasha. Spent most of my 20s in federal prison, but I've been off heroin since April 9, 2010. Got a lot of stories about the dumb stuff I did to get put in prison, but also got a lot of stories about the crazy stuff that actually happened when I was in prison, and God forbid you end up in prison. You want to make some of the same mistakes I made. So, some crazy stuff just seems to, come about. Craziness finds me, apparently. The choices you make when craziness puts itself in front of you. I got enough mental health issues going back to doing dope. I know that would just not be good. I already know what's going to happen. It's happened enough times that I just know the outcome, so it's not something I'm going to do. But anyways, my fiance and I, Casey, we live in a place called Newcastle. It's close to her family in this place called Paint Bank, which is this little no-stoplight town with a Buffalo Farm. Her dad runs there. And basically it's halfway between my family and her family, but I love it because it's a little one-stoplight town. And it's funny because there's a stoplight because this bridge was going out and they got to rebuild the bridge. And they had these t-shirts at the local gas station with a stop sign, with a circle, with an arrow through it, and it says, "Make Newcastle Great Again," because there's a stoplight, but it's only for one-way traffic to go down the one side of the bridge while they're repairing the other side. So to make Newcastle great again with the stoplight with the X, it's funny. But anyway, we don't really have homeless people, any type of stuff like that. The crime is typically tweakers stealing from their own families or cooking dope up in a trailer or stuff like that. Okay, we don't have the typical crime that you'd have in Roanoke, where I grew up and where I live. Roanoke, there's a lot more crime, a whole lot more crime, depending on which part of the city you're in. Southeast always has something going on. I mean, shoot, you walk through there, after 10, 11 o'clock at night, you're rolling the dice if you're walking alone and you don't know nobody. Same thing off Orange and Melrose, There's a lot that's been going on, a lot more gang-ridden stuff, and it's not a small place. It's a couple 100,000 people, probably about 300,000 between the city, the county, Salem, and Benton. But Newcastle, it's a few thousand people. Oh, it's a little country town. It's nice. It's a wild little town. Like, y'all know those audits where people go and they record stuff and see if the police are going to be jerks to them, because you don't have show the police your ID if you haven't committed a crime or you're not suspected of having committed a crime. Well, like literally, you could come to this town and do an audit. Like, basically, the audits are trying to catch tyrant police officers, prick police officers. You could come here and do that, and they wouldn't mess with you a bit. I'd be like, yeah, some dummy taking pictures of stuff. He's got a weird thing on. What was that? He must be a city boy, is what they think. They wouldn't bother you. They wouldn't bother nobody. The only thing the cops here really are trying to mess with are, drug addicts that's getting crazy and out of the way. They're not looking to cause any problems. Most cops here are cool. Now, I did have one pull on me one time because he thought I was somebody I wasn't, but that was a mistaken identity, freak circumstance. The one day I shaved my facial hair like this, and I'd never done that. I always kept clean shaved, and I got a shirt on that shows color tattoos and these tattoos that only go halfway down my arm, and I was in a red car, and I drove off from the gas station after getting the energy shot, and I even drank the energy shot outside of it. I kept seeing him look over at me. He waited to get in my car. He followed me for 5 miles, and I was getting ready to go out of the limit, so he pulled me over before I was out of his jurisdiction. I went ahead, had the window down, and I put my hands up to it. Cops scare me. With my record, you can talk about politics and stuff, but, if a cop were to come up, they were to waste me. There's a good chance it'd just be justified because of my background. I'm not getting into politics. There's different things on certain things you could say about this, and that, but I'm self-aware. With my record, if they pull my license plate, see my record, see some of the stuff, not just stuff that I've done, but stuff I've been pulled in and questioned for, that's the stuff that I'm more worried about. Not the stuff I've been convicted of, but the stuff I've been pulled in and questioned for, because some of that stuff might make them a little edgy, and then, yeah, be nervous because of that. But anyway, there's a guy. We go to the dollar store. There's this guy out there, and we get some backpackers, a bunch of hippies come up and hike. I hate them. If you like hiking, that's cool, but there's this on top of Catawba Mountain, which we have to cross to get to Newcastle. there's a parking lot for people that hike, but when they don't have parking spots left, they just park along the side of the mountain. I mean, this is a 55 mile an hour zone across this mountain, and you about hit these cars. And yeah, they tow them off, and I laugh when I see them towing them off. I think, yeah, it's what you get, you yuppies. Oh, it make me sick. And then at Paint Bank, the Buffalo Farm, they'll park right in the middle of the road. People go 60 down that road. You come around the corner, nearly hit one of them. They'll take pictures of buffalo, try to feed a buffalo. Stupid. You gonna try to feed a buffalo? There's a wire fence. It doesn't even have electricity. They walk right through it sometimes. The buffalo escape at least 4 times a year. Stupid. But anyway, we go to the dollar store, and there's this tweaker looking guy out front. He's unshaved. I mean, I call him a tweaker looking guy. Well, his hair and facial hair wasn't a whole lot different from mine. I need to shave and get a haircut. You know, I'm going to start describing this guy, and it's going to sound like me. He doesn't like facial hair, facial features. You know, he just some white dude. You know, blue eye, but like the same hair, not too far off, but dirty. I mean, just we're gonna be real about it. Dirty. He's a dirty fella. And I walked in the store, and I said, God, I said, lock the door when I walk in. You'd see him fidgety, and I walked in. I went in the Dollar General, got my few little knickknacks and stuff that I needed to get. I can't even remember what all it was I needed to get. I got that little pet rat upstairs, Whitey Bulger. I feed him good. He's got these little cashews he eats with these little dried fruits, so I'm getting him some of that. And I come back out, and the guy speaks to me. I knew he was going to speak to me. I knew he was going to ask me for $1 or something. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting some type of lie to get money out of me, and I hate being lied to. I hate being lied to. There was a dancing crackhead on Orange Avenue. He didn't lie to me. He would just dance and asking for money. I gave him a 10. He made me and Casey laugh. That was on my birthday last year. About a year ago. Yeah, we rolled laughing. I felt sick going to that birthday too, because we had to park around the side of the building behind this like 5-star restaurant downtown. I don't go out to eat. I don't do the fancy stuff, you know. I don't go out. Simple, you know what I mean? It's just training, coming home, and doing my stuff, and you know I don't do extra stuff. Behind this 5-star restaurant, they got a little tent city of homeless people in Roanoke. It's downtown. It's under a bridge, and I felt sick even eating in the restaurant with the homeless people out back behind it. And then there was another one that had a sign that said, that the dope man stole his girl and he needed money for super secret ninja training. And I gave him like a 20. He had me rolling. I can't remember what it said, but it was something funny. You know what I mean? It was something funny. It made me laugh. And this guy came out. He didn't ask me for any money. He asked me for a lighter. Judo, jiu-jitsu, boxing. If you start training, you quit smoking. Cause after a minute, when you and then some little guy's whooping you because you're cardio, as Chicken Man said, well, cardio, go do that Jane Fonda stuff. Yeah, that Jane Fonda stuff's going to help you in a fight. He quit smoking, and I since he didn't ask me for any money, anything like that, I wasn't going to give him 10, 20, nothing like that, but I did pull up about, I think I gave him $3 or $4. I said, no, I don't smoke, buddy, but here's $3 or $4, I'll get you some. We talked for a minute, and, you know, he talked about certain stuff, and sometimes I mention, you know, about that book that my story's in, because it gives people an opening. They see that I've been there, and I tell them, yeah, I've been in federal prison. I mean, a lot of time people, some people guess it, some people wouldn't. But he's like, well, I'd be your brother then. He tells me a little bit about himself, and he's had hard times, and this, and that, and his pupils are freaking dilated, just shot all the way up. I mean, it's first thing, and I talked to him calmly there for a minute, and, you know, said he's made it up from Roanoke City. That's where he is from. I don't know why he'd hitchhike out here. And Casey was talking about it. And I said, he came up here to make money. She said, oh, what? So he'd get a job working on a farm? I said, no, looking pitiful. And she bust out laughing. And I wasn't joking. He came up here to look pitiful. These country folks are nice up here now. Down here, we don't have to, you know, I ain't going to pick up no hitchhiker. No. The last one that was over the mountain, we got back home, found out there was a wanted sex offender. One of the mountains, the same one that we passed, that she mentioned something about picking on. I said, that's why we don't pick none hitchhiker. That's why you don't do that. But anyway, you know, I talked to him, and I was actually going to go give him like, you know, $50 and do an interview, have him on here. And I went back. I had to wait. We had getting some work done to the porch and stuff, you know, to the house. It looks really good now. It's all done. It's been a really busy week. Sorry for my lack of comments responding by the time. I try to get back to all of them as best as I can. But anyway, and also Rover something. Anthony Vera Kelly told me to donate something. Thank you, buddy. I don't know where to find that. It don't show it anywhere. The only place I see it's if it's in the comments, but something Rover. He said something about you donate, so thank you, buddy. I'd say the whole name, that's all he mentioned though, but anyway, thank you, Rover. But anyway, I went out to go look for him. I drove all around looking for him. And, you know, apparently my fiance and other people told me that he had a girlfriend, that they were in a fight. She was sitting down crying. He was walking away. We live across the street from a state trooper. Across the way from him, our old neighbors were tweakers. You knew because the hours they kept and the stuff they done. They even fired a gun outside one time. And never had any, he minds his business. That ain't his business. He ain't going to get involved if they ask him to get involved. We live 2-3 blocks away from the Newcastle police, which is the tiniest little police force you ever seen. A big old pot-bellied countrymen that are the goodest people you ever met in your life. They ain't gonna mess with you if you don't mess with them. That's how it should be. If there's crime, they're getting crime. They're not out here just messing with people, taking pictures and stuff. Shoot. I mean, you'd guess it'd be worse. It's better. I couldn't believe it because I came to this little country town thinking, oh, Lord, these little country police. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. They don't bother people. They don't. They mind their business. This guy was standing in front of a store. We don't have homeless people here. You'd guess, since we didn't have homeless people here, that they'd be on him like stink on you know what. No, they left him alone. Oh, gotta press this button, sorry. Yeah, they left him alone. Didn't bother him a bit. For about 3 days, they didn't bother him a bit. He was out in the grocery store, standing out front, just looking pitiful, like I said. And Roanoke people tell him, you know, get screwed, because if you go down to Orange Avenue, at that intersection, there's literally 4 homeless people, one on each corner of the intersection. It's got that bad. Last time, you know, on my birthday, on that birthday that I went to with the tent city, we stopped at that gas station. I ended up giving away $30 because I mean I've been there and stuff. As much money as I've had hustling and doing stuff, you know, there were times when the connection fell through and it was gutter. Now I never stayed in any mission or something like that. I slept in my car. There were a couple nights I went and go to the mission to eat dinner. Ooh, they had some good dinner. They fill you up. Last time, shoot, I must have been 17, 18. It was when after 19 I had money, but like had something put together. But they had 2 sloppy joes, more fries than you couldn't finish up the whole plate they gave at the mission there. They had free dinners, but nah, I never stayed in it. Not as bad if you do. I mean, it's a good place for people, but never had too much pride. Probably better off sleeping in that car, cricking my neck thinking about it. But anyway, this guy, I went looking for him, and I went in the gas station, and sure enough, as fate would have it, they was talking about the guy. The girl at the gas station was talking about the guy. She said that he walked up to the police officer, pulled something out of his pocket, and showed it to him, and got himself arrested intentionally. Yeah, it's cold right now. It's cold right now. Apparently they found some sleeping bags and stuff behind the little place. It's called Food Country. That's a country old name for a place, you know what I mean? In Roanoke, you got Kroger and places like that. Food Country, marked up. They overcharge for everything. But anyway, they found notes. It was tweaker notes, because the girl at the gas station was telling me, yeah, there were notes that he was writing to himself, like, parents, don't give your kids steroids. They're in all the foods, and like just these delusional type things. And he might have been messed up, but it sounded like tweaker type talk. And yeah, it sounded like he went in the bathroom, threw some weed away in there. He said it was stinking up, said he came back in, got it out of the trash can, walked it back out to the cop. But it's decriminalized here, so he must have shown him like a drug pipe or something. But it's cold. It's cold. And I mean, he don't know nobody out here. And I feel bad about it, you know. If I'd give him $50, he would have just bought him probably, you know, some dope or something. But you know what? If it made his day better, then whatever. It would have been an interesting person to talk to. Felt bad for him though. When you go get yourself arrested because you're so cold just so you can have somewhere to sleep, get it together. But you know, that's the thing with opiates. People just drop. But with the speed, people, it's a long drawn out thing. It's not as talked about because people aren't losing their lives over it. But you know, you watch that smuggler stuff. They said that speed's become the new marijuana because it's so cheap to produce over there. You know, it's sad stuff. You know, I hate to see anybody going through it. Like, I've got a heart for people like that. I've got a heart for homeless people and stuff like that. That's why when I sold drugs, I didn't sell them to people that were doing bad. I sold them to college kids. And, you know, I know it doesn't make it any freaking better, but whatever. Like, I couldn't stand to take from people that didn't have nothing, you know. been there, not knowing where I was going to sleep and stuff. But anyway, I hung out with him, talked to him for about 10, 15 minutes, and he's nice fella, nice as could be. And he went off on a meth-induced rant, and he's like, yeah, I was walking down the way earlier, and then there were these high school kids, and they were football players, and I thought, oh, they're going to whoop me. But they didn't whoop me. They were actually really nice people. Kind of like you. You're really nice. And I'm like, oh, I appreciate that, buddy. You know, trying to slow them down, but not give them any funny looks or anything. And send them off in a direction. But I don't know. It just is something that stuck in my mind, so I figured I'd share it. I've got another second channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more on there. I apologize for my lack of stuff recently. It's been busy. We got the porch done. Been a lot of noise, okay? And with calls, we have these incredible 2 local people that don't have, they're not on Google, they're not in the phone book. They can do business by word of mouth. They live off the grid with solar panels, completely off the grid. It's a wonderful couple, wonderful, wonderful couple. And they get work done in a day. Usually, there was the hurricane that came through, so that slowed it down, you know, and then there's stuff with the power and everything else here. Wish we had solar panels. But sorry for the lack of it. I'll get back on it. But I'm going to post a pinned comment to my other channel I've got that I'm getting going that's going to have my extra stuff on it. I'll be talking about 60 Days In tomorrow on there. I cuss a little bit on there. I'm a little bit funnier when I cuss instead of this Jay Foxworthy stuff I do on here, which, you know, I want anybody to be able to watch on here. But anyways, if you like the video, press the like button. If not, it's 16 minutes and 33 seconds of your life in which you'll never get back. I'm going to do the workout thing. I'm going to have that on here tomorrow. The workout stuff on the other channel, I'm going to have it tomorrow. I've got to run as soon as I get this done, so I do apologize, but tomorrow I'm going to have time to do it. A lot going on. It's nothing bad, nothing crazy. It's just been a busy week. We've had 4 birthdays in Casey's side, 2 parties on 2 separate occasions required, you know, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. See, back when I was on drugs, a lot now is driving around town. A lot back then was, you know, running from the police, throwing dope off into the woods, then spending 2 hours in the woods trying to find where you threw it. There's a story about that. I just reminded myself one. I'll tell you that in another day. But anyway, felt bad for the little guy. He's a nice little guy with a problem. He wasn't hurting anybody. He had his backpack. He was camping. He was cold, so he got himself arrested. And, you know, hats off to the police officers here. I mean, it's pretty obvious the guy wanted to get arrested, so they obliged and, you know, took him to jail. But police here let him sit around for 3 days in front of places. They didn't harass him, be like, you're getting out of our town, boy. None of that type of stuff. They were nice to the fella. And it surprised me, figuring a country town, nope. But then again, I'm not selling dope now, so it's a lot easier to not, you know. I got, you know, these preconceived ideas of police and everything, but the ones here, I can't say a whole lot about them. I mean, they really don't seem like bad people. Neighbor across the street, good man, minds his business. They got this cute little dog. It's one of them dogs that got the nose pushed in, and Sasha will go up the fence, ready to eat it, and it'll try to pull its way to the fence. It ain't but that big though. Sounds like it has an asthma attack, but it ain't scared of her a bit. And but anyway, that's it.